Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slayho. And I got another video for y'all. This video, I'm gonna show y'all a video clip and then I'm gonna come back for commentary.
I wanted to know her list.
Of who she fucked?
I wanna
Names,
know.
addresses?
I needed to know. I have
Oh
to.
my God.
And I'm gonna tell you why though. I wanna know. Because before I sit up here and really keep moving and elevating our relationship, I wanna know who got one up on me. And if I'm willing to take on that burden, because why I wanna know? If you had any type of relationship, intimacy, experiences with people that I really know, I need to know that. I'm owed that. Because if you don't give me that, you got me, hey y'all, this my girl, and you got somebody over there in that corner like, that nigga don't know. What's up, my boy? You good? She bad, ain't she? Yeah, that's mine. Baby, you want some juice? You want some punch?
But you're a special man because a lot of niggas, they're too insecure to actually really hear that shit.
That has
you're
nothing
a special man.
That has nothing to do with insecurity. But this is where I want women to understand. If she had been with somebody that was close to me, I would have had to respectfully, I'm not there yet. I can't.
Not that grown yet.
I can't carry that weight yet.
Right.
You cool, you're beautiful, but baby, that's my teammate.
Right.
Baby, we see each other too much. We in the same rooms. And even though he a good dude, my ego is gonna be, yeah. And that's the man's superpower, if given the right way. See, that's the thing. People always say, oh, he's narcissist because he got an ego. No. Baby, a man's ego can make a relationship
Yes.
or break a relationship.
You are absolutely correct.
So that thing that makes me great, that protection, that bravado, when I walk around with my chest high and I know my woman is next to me and I know that she's giving me the respect to say, hey, baby, I'm coming to you pure. I've been with this person, that person, this person. That's cool. There can be some people that it's just too heavy to bear.
Right.
And I think women need to understand that. Well, y'all out here just hanging out. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? You done hit my friend. Why you can't take me?
I get that. My issue is that a lot of men say that they can handle it or like they're okay. I've never had to give anybody my fucking list ever in my life. That is crazy, but
That's cool.
maybe it'll happen someday. And
But that happened.
I won't feel bad sharing it though.
Now I know that was a very kind of long clip. You know, the attention span of people is very low nowadays, right? But I wanted to highlight certain things that he said. So he asked his shorty for a list of dudes that she been with, which I think is a little crazy, right? And at the same time, I understand that he just wanted to know if there was any dudes on the list that he was close to so that they wouldn't have one up on him, right? So I can understand in the sense of like, I want to know who you been with to know if any of the dudes is close to me, right? Because she might not know some of the dudes on her list is close to him. So I understand from that perspective, right? I still, even though I agree, I think that like if a chick mess with one of your homies or somebody that is close to you, then that should be disclosed to you, right? You should have informed consent to make a decision if you want to pursue her and deal with whatever might come with that, right? So what I think that happens sometimes is that like, we don't know, right? And nobody wants to get caught up with their pants down, right? It's figure of speech. Blindsided by some shit like, cause guys operate and think differently than women do. So this is why like some women are gonna understand where he coming from. And we don't understand where some women coming from, right? So as far as getting a list, and I know he's probably asking for a list because of his status and who he is, and who she is, right? She was also a media personality or whatever. She was out there in the world. So that might be peculiar to their situation. However, like I said, I think asking for a list for like the average person, I don't know, right? I don't think is something that like I would care to ask for. But I do agree that like, if you smash one of the homies and you know, you should let old boy know, because old boy should have an informed decision whether he wants to engage with you after knowing that or not. So I would say that on that aspect. He also talked about the ego, and I think that narcissism, a lot of people, and I'm gonna have another video on this, a lot of people got introduced to the word narcissist and they just went off the hinges. Predominantly are women, right? They heard the word narcissist and they just been going crazy ever since. It's been going crazy for like 3 years now, maybe 4. Gaslighting too is another word, but we're not gonna get into that. And I think a lot of people fail to realize that, first of all, you can't diagnose somebody a narcissist, right? Because you're not a clinician. You're not, you don't have the credentials to do so. And a lot of people, they misunderstand this aspect, right? 2, narcissism is on a spectrum, right? Meaning, which Cam Newton expounded on, right? Narcissism, he didn't say it's on a spectrum, but it is, right? So parts of the reasons why you got good, self-esteem is because of you got a healthy ego, healthy narcissism, right? Part of the reason why you're confident, why you move in a certain way, why certain things don't faze you, is because you have a healthy spectrum of narcissism. Now, I encourage y'all, the ignorant people out there who don't know about narcissism and the spectrum, to do some research and go look up healthy aspects of narcissism. So anyway, that was number 2. It's funny because the lady was like, oh, you're not grown yet. And he tried to touch upon, like, you don't understand how men operate, right? And he was trying to say it has nothing to do with insecurity. Like, women love throwing this, like, you just insecure instead of just listening. Just listen. Like, they can't even listen, right? Let me not get derailed. But he's trying to tell her, like, it's not about insecurity. It's about men know how men operate, right? This has been the most vocal ever of men. So before men coming to the internet and telling you about the locker room and barbershop conversations that we've been having those conversations for eons behind closed doors or outside of the ears of women, right? So he's explaining, like, yo, listen, women, men, they behave in a certain way. So when he's talking about, like, yeah, like showing up, and a dude is like, oh, that's your girl? Man, he don't even know. Like, dudes is doing all that funny stuff, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean that a man is immature. It's just that when a man is being disrespected in a certain way, or when a man is being, I don't even know, sometimes it might not necessarily be disrespect, but like, sometimes that's just the way men talk, right? You could take it as disrespect, or you could just take it as men being men or whatever. But yes, men will sneakily or in front of you say, like, yeah, I had that too. Or like, it doesn't feel good to a man, right? It doesn't feel good. I've been in circles with women where women will be like, yeah, I already smashed him. Like, and they take that as a pride thing, right? They take that as like they accomplished something. They could have homegirls that be like, your homegirl might be talking to her doing, they be like, she don't even know I had that already. And they say it in a way that comes from, like, they got power. Men is totally different. When another man is saying, I had that, I enjoy your lady, like I had a good time with her and XYZ, it doesn't relate the same way, right? And some of y'all will never understand this. So I understand what he's trying to say. Like, I just want to have an informed decision to make, as if I know what I'm stepping into, and I know what I'm gonna navigate. And he admitted he's not there yet. Some men are not there yet, and I'm not making this video to advocate for dudes to be there. That is a very tough situation to handle, especially when you grew up as a man, learning certain things, right? And receiving certain things, and kind of like moving about, and like, you know, these notions of masculinity and manhood. So I could understand why it would be so hard for you, after all them years of believing something, to get with a woman that done smash your homies. This is a very tough predicament to be in, and he admitted as a man. And I think, like, she tried to say, oh, you're not man enough, or she said, oh, you haven't matured, or she said something. And I think, like, it's just certain things that some sisters is not gonna understand, like, and instead of labeling it like being immature, you know, sometimes we just gotta listen to what is being said and what is being communicated, and trying to understand what that is, right? Because I get it. I think that, like, you don't understand, like, the level, because we view things differently. Like I just said, like, women, they kind of like feel like they're being empowered in a sense, like, I already had that, you know. And men feel like, yeah, you already had my lady, like, you already experienced this, you already, like, and it's more so about you being close to me, right? Because of course we know chicks slept around and chicks did certain things, but, like, when it's close, when it's somebody that I know, when it's somebody that I'm cool with, when it's somebody that I'm close to, when it's somebody that, like, I see constantly, this is things that he was mentioning, like, I see them all the time, like, I need to know. You know, so I understand where he was coming from, but go look that up about the ego and narcissism, right? Because the same things that give a man a healthy self-esteem, it's the same things that could make him overinflated. That's why he said ego can make or break relationships. But I want to hear your thoughts. Like, let me know in the comment section, for the guys, would you want a list, or you don't care? Let me know. Peace.